All right. Welcome back to Is This You Tarot? This is take number 2. I tried shuffling and got interrupted, but it wouldn't let me finish. So, good thing. Today we are pulling cards on someone else's relationship this time. Because you might have a friend or a relative that you care about, and you might be concerned about a relationship they've gotten into. Maybe one or both of them seem kind of immature, or it's just doesn't quite seem like the right fit, and you're like, no, that will never last, and you're not to be nosy, but because you don't want to see them getting hurt. So I am pulling cards so we can find out, what is that relationship likely to look like? What's the trajectory of that relationship? Does it look like it's going to last a while? Or are you right? Are they getting themselves into something they're going to regret? And I'm not talking about anything major, not like someone who's abusive, nothing like that. Just two people that you're like, I don't know, man. Maybe they've moved kind of fast, and now they're getting themselves into something that's going to take kind of a lot to get out of if it does end. So let's find out if it's worth it. Is it going to last? Okay. Yeah, that's kind of a lot of cards. How about a little more concise than that? Come on. These aren't super long readings. Just need a few cards. One card or a few cards. I like to wait till something kind of falls out. I know there are a lot of different methods to reading cards, but through trial and error, you can kind of figure out what works best for your personal intuition. Okay. So we have King of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck. Ten of Swords. King of Wands. And Five of Swords. Sorry. So, overall, so it does look kind of conflicting when you at first glance, looking at the cards. So, I'm seeing that on the surface, I know you might be looking at them thinking they don't go well together, or maybe they have some growing to do. But from an objective perspective, that relationship can kind of look stable. Or maybe they feel that it looks stable. But that underlying energy is where we're going to see the complications. It could go either way, is what I'm trying to say. There is a breaking point fueled by some kind of impulsivity and poor communication, conflict. So let's take a look. Let's start at the beginning again. King of Pentacles. This is where it looks solid. It looks maybe this person is a little bit older or more experienced. They just seem stable, whether it's financially stable, dependable, very adult. Maybe your friend or relative is seeing this person that way. The flip side, that person can be set in their ways. So, hard to get them to compromise. And perhaps you are worried that they're basing their relationship a little bit more on that practical compatibility rather than that emotional glue. Because you kind of need both. Now, the Ten of Swords, this is that breaking point. Someone in that connection is going to get to a point where they say, I can't keep doing this forever. At some point of contention is going to just kind of be too much. And they're going to realize, I don't want to spend the rest of my life like this. This card, that impulsivity that this card gives off, this might be that rushing in. This might be like moving in together too fast, making big decisions without thinking long term enough, letting your excitement make the decisions for you and throw caution to the winds. So, maybe you're right, and that's what you're picking up on when you're wondering, can this last? It's nice when you have that in the beginning, but you also have to think about, how is it going to play out long term? How are we going to maintain this relationship? And I'm sure you're worried that they haven't thought about this enough. So this Five of Swords is highlighting that when they have disagreements, they don't really resolve them fully and cleanly. Someone always comes away from that feeling either unheard or misunderstood, or they're the one that's always having to give in, they're the ones having to compromise, and it's possible that that is playing a big role here. So what I'm thinking is that because they've moved so fast in making these big decisions, whether it's moving in together or something big that keeps them in this dynamic, they're going to either have to figure out how to disagree in a more healthy way, or it's probably not going to last. So there is going to be that moment. And like I said, it can go either way. If both people in the relationship cannot grow, cannot mature and grow together, then the relationship may not last. But if they can grow either right now, and then maybe they won't have as dramatic of a reckoning, or once they get to that reckoning, they're going to have to make that choice. You know, are we going to survive this? Are we both going to work on it? Are we both going to grow up? So that's what I have for this particular reading. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and drop some comments down below. Give me your questions you'd like me to pull cards on, and I'll be happy to do that. Until then, I'll see you next time.